please. Thank you. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay, so the objective of this whole presentation is to introduce you to these tools that Bitski and Unlock have, because every time I talk to anyone that I meet around here, they are, and I say here, like crypto Twitter and Discords and all of these communities we're playing in, they all want to get started and they don't know how. And so I see these two tools as probably one of the most useful ones to get building and get started. And the only way that I think not the only way, but the only reason we're doing this is because we want to solve current business problems. The reason to start building in Web3 is not because you want to create an NFT. The reason to start building in Web3 is because you want to solve a business problem, whether that's growth, increased customer loyalty, engagement, whatever it is. So I want to deeply explore more often the ways we can do that with these tools, not just talk about how they work, but how we can use them. So I have this slide in here because I know not everyone on here is a woman, but the reason I've been doing at CoinQueens what I've been doing is because there's just not a lot of women. When we started our crypto fund, I was the only girl, and it just feels like not a lot of women are talking about it, and they definitely aren't talking about investing crypto or otherwise. And Time stated it was 20% of women who invested in crypto. And I want more women opening wallets, playing with it, learning it so that they have opportunities to build something great. So I'm going to do the high level Web3 overview. Blockchain, it's why it all exists. It's why we're all here. It's a little different than the way the internet works, because instead of having one big server, we have little servers located all over, thousands and thousands of them, and they allow for all transactions to be publicly open source. And why is that good? It's because it allows everyone to know that it's safe, secure. I like to give the example of TikTok. TikTok has a server. If TikTok goes down, then, and say their server explodes, there's no more TikTok, right? But think of the idea, the blockchain allows for all those little servers to exist all everywhere. And so if one little server blows up, it's fine, because everyone has, let's say, a little piece of TikTok on their phone, and it goes on. You can watch cat videos or Brooke Lacey videos till your heart's content. It is decentralized, which means what I just said. The ledgers are distributed all rather than, can everyone make sure they have their speakers muted, por favor? Thank you. The ledgers are distributed among the network I was talking about. They're everywhere. Okay, let me see if I can find that. We are having some interesting guests today, guys. Let me see if I can see who it is. It's not muted. I don't know. I don't see it. Okay. So there is no... What is that? I can't see the person. Does anyone see the person?
That's John.
Okay, I muted him. Got it. Okay, done. No problem, guys.
Heather, you gotta like remove. Yeah,
I did. Okay, gone. Thank you, madam. Appreciate you. Man, we got some interesting folks today.
I think it's because it was in the link was in Telegram. Telegram's not very secure.
Good.
Sorry.
Okay, I will not post it in Telegram again. Noted. Okay. So anyway, the cryptocurrency exists only on a blockchain. So crypto exists because of the blockchain, and every cryptocurrency has its own blockchain, and you have Bitcoin has its own, Ethereum has its own, and within those blockchains, all these different protocols, applications are being built, and some of which we're going to learn today. And I have two slides that have our main 5, what Coin Kings, our fund, Coin Queens, why crypto. I'm really not going to go over those today in detail, because the idea of this presentation today is more to introduce you to the tools so you can get to work. But you can see quickly the 5 points why I believe in crypto, why I invest any time in building here, It is a digital store of value versus a physical store. It eliminates an intermediary risk. I can send money to Risa if she's in the Caribbean this month. I can send it to her immediately. I don't need any permission from anybody, not PayPal, not my bank. It is peer-to-peer, immediate. And each cryptocurrency, like I said, exists on its own blockchain. It is a global means of transaction. Never before have we been able to send money all over the world. We have Gia, who's on here, one of our CoinQueens, their business is Edify, and they already teach in the metaverse now students that live in the Philippines, like skills that are actually practical skills. So they can get jobs in the Philippines that will provide a working wage. And typically, Christina lives in Houston, Texas, I believe, but she's able to facilitate these lessons through the metaverse. And now she's even brought her credentialing on chain using Unlock Protocol, which for her, credentialing and certificate management has been a nightmare. But now being able to bring that all on chain is really just allowing her to grow and enhance their school. It's amazing. And then it returns government to its natural state. And usually I spend a lot of time on the crypto slides, but we're going to brush over it. If anyone wanted to, go deep into why Bitcoin, I'm happy to do that, but that's not really why we're here today. So I'm going to skip through these today. So we're going to go right into a wallet. What is a crypto wallet? A crypto wallet holds the keys to your cryptocurrency that exists on the blockchain. So we'll use Bitcoin as an example. If you own Bitcoin, it exists on the blockchain. It says that Heather owns, 100 Bitcoin. Wouldn't that be lovely? It would say that right on the blockchain. And my wallet, which is what Bitski will offer, holds the keys to that. So for me to send Risa a Bitcoin, I would have to use my keys to access it. There's two types of wallets: a hot wallet, which most of you probably know, like MetaMask, and there's cold wallets, which are ledgers. They look like glorified USBs, basically. So a hot wallet is connected to the internet. It is, you lose your keys to your wallet, then you lose access to your Bitcoin. If I lost my seed phrase, nobody else owns my Bitcoin, but I can't access it anymore. And that's a bummer. So that is actually one of the biggest reasons why we created our fund. Was we had friends who were really interested in investing in a meaningful way, large amounts of money into crypto. And we couldn't really allow them to do that without feeling like they could really screw this up, or their spouses wouldn't know what the heck their seed phrase codes was if they died or if they got in a car accident. So we created the fund, and now we have multi-sig wallets. Everyone has a piece of the phrase. There's lawyers and all that stuff involved to keep it safe. But most people that are interacting on crypto, like Victoria, who she's Gracious Tenacity on Twitter, if you guys have ever seen her on there, you're probably using a hot wallet, so you can easily link into the internet. You log in with your face or your fingerprints and off you go. And I think for me, and I was talking to Victoria before you guys got on, the biggest barrier to entry for me is the wallet issue. Anytime I would host an in real life event, we would set up wallets. I'd be like, my biggest thing was throw $50 in, just throw $50 in and just watch it. I just want you to get a taste for it, how it works, pay attention to it. And then maybe you'll be motivated to invest more. Maybe you won't, you don't care or whatever. That's great. And I still, even though it was $50, was nervous that they had access to screw it up or click the wrong link or get motivated to buy something they shouldn't be investing in. And so what Bitski is offering, and I'm going to let Blake talk about it. It is a hot wallet. Technically, it is connected to the internet, but there are a bunch of safeguards in place. And I think for me, and I'm going to have some questions for you, Blake. Like, I'll wait till you're done, unless there's like a natural point for me to interrupt. But I think this could really be a step in the right direction for helping more businesses and brands bring their clients over to Web3 without their clients having to know it's Web3, right? Just email and password. So I love it. So Blake, I'm going to send it over to you. We're going to skip these slides and go right to Bitski.
Great. Good to meet everyone. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to Heather for hosting this. Heather is both virtually everywhere and in person everywhere at various Web3 at crypto events. If you don't follow her on Twitter, I encourage everyone to do so. Also, I want to say hello to Brooke. I see Brooke Lacey on, who is just like the queen of all things cybersecurity. And I would follow her on Twitter too. And just some of the other great people that are there. Sorry, you just spotlighted my video. So that's why I was like, wait, where did everyone go for a second? If you can make me the co-host so I can share. Actually, it looks like I think we're good to go on that front. So let me pull this up for a second and we can start chatting from here. So I work at a company called Bitski. We have this QR code. It is safe to scan, I promise. It's just to download the Bitski wallet if you don't have it downloaded. If you don't feel comfortable scanning it, I respect that. It is a crypto Zoom conversation. So feel free to just Google Bitski wallet and you can download it on your own at your own convenience. There will be some fun opportunities for you to both claim a couple of free NFTs later. So I do encourage you to download it. I wanted to include some fun in that. And then also an opportunity to give away some CoinQueens swag because Heather knows I'm just a really big fan of the CoinQueens logo and just overall look and feel. So anyways, big fan of this group. As we go, feel free to ask questions in the chat. I'll try to answer them now or maybe like at the end of the conversation because I want to ensure that you get to learn about on Siesta and also unlock protocol as well. So I don't want to consume that time at all. So we're going to talk a bit about me, Bitski wallet, and we'll dive in. And we'll try to not go too deep into this conversation, although it seems like some of you have pretty good knowledge of Web3 and crypto. So if you want to go deeper on any of these things, feel free to DM me on Twitter, DM Bitski. We're happy to have a conversation. Just reference CoinQueens and like we'll make sure that we answer any questions that we have or that you might have. A bit about me. I had to do one of these slides of like, here's me doing a hike or doing something like that, which, you know, is a personality trait of anyone in tech, apparently. I'm a big fan of new technology. I was crypto pilled a few years ago, and I just really like the way that digital ownership has played out. I like the ethos of the Web3 and crypto community. And I also think the things that we're doing, although they're a little in the weeds sometimes, and you know, we have seed phrases that are written on pieces of paper stored throughout our friends' homes and like behind a tree in the park near our house. I do believe that there's ways for decentralized technology to be easy to access for people. And so it's part of the reason why I'm here, part of the reason why I'm excited about the space. And I think it's the reason why a lot of people are excited about it, where it gives this form of ownership to people in a different way. It empowers creators and empowers the average person that's out there. And as technologies are getting better around this, it's also even easier for the average person to enter this space. And so, you know, before we get going, hopefully some of you downloaded the wallet beforehand or maybe saw some of the things. We have 2 QR codes here. Again, if you're not comfortable scanning these, DM Bitski on Twitter and mention CoinQueens. And I'll be sure to send you the claim links afterwards. These are 2 fun, just open creative projects. You know, the Creative Commons licenses are open. So we've kind of worked these up a little bit. One is the, I forget the name of the one on the right, and then the on the left. One on the right is like the Cryptodes inspired Bitski Toad. So anyways, we'll come back to this later. And then I think since it's getting recorded, Heather, these links will stay live for your community. So that way the CoinQueens community can continue to access this in every single way.
No, those are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So Bitski, I won't share with you a bevy of too many slides here, but quick thing about Bitski. Bitski is a wallet company, but we're not just a wallet company. We are also a Web3 platform company, but it's all in service of bringing seamless wallet experiences to people in the space. Everything from being able to claim the NFTs that you just saw in the previous slide to giving developers tools, both SDKs, APIs, etc., to be able to easily bring wallets to everyone. We want to make it easy for brands, for games, for any kind of community to easily create wallets, specifically custodial wallets. When it comes to Bitski and our wallet, one of the things that makes it unique is that, and it seems like the terms hot and cold wallet are being talked about. So I'll use a phrase that I like to use, which is it brings the convenience of a hot wallet, but the security of a cold wallet. So it's the convenience of a hot wallet, security of a cold wallet. And the reason for that is because we're using a form of security called HSM, or hardware secured modules. There's a whole separate like tirade we can go on, or diatribe about that. If you want to go deep into that, we can go in a separate session, perhaps, Heather, going into the security and kind of the nuances of that. But that's probably one of the biggest nuances. One of the big things about our wallet is that we're big on the email password wallet creation, the same type of user account creation that you see just about everywhere in the space, everywhere else you see in technology, Web 2 and the alike. Like, that should be an expectation. That should be table stakes for folks. We want it to be secure for people across the board. We also want you to be able to receive communications and information and alerts about the things that are going on in your wallets. And we want people to have that kind of information and access. Now, for some of you, you might say, well, Blake, I have plenty of other apps on my phone already. Like, this seems like table stakes for at least how I'm using technology. And you're completely right. But because of the nuances of the blockchain, the nuances of smart contracts and the way that people create smart contracts, we're just reaching this point, and it's a point that Bitski's been at for a while specifically, and how people can more easily access blockchain technologies, more easily create wallets, which are kind of like the keys to the kingdom of all things blockchain. We're reaching this point where these experiences are more seamless, easier to use, and easier to understand. So that's kind of the gist of it. Now, today we're going to talk about the Bitski wallet, but I do want to call out that there is a large ecosystem of wallets, and I would be the worst person in the world if I didn't call out that there are plenty of other wallets out there that you should and go explore, play with, find what's right for you. I don't want this to just be a Bitski commercial in that way. So if you have any questions about other wallets, I'm happy to send you a bevy of links. Every wallet's different. And today I'm going to talk about Bitski a little bit. And it's really meant to be an easy, simple on-ramp so that you're not having to keep track of those seed phrases. You're not having to worry about that level of self-custody, as Heather was talking about. And if you do want to be able to do that, well, we have some things coming soon that you'll be able to do in that space. So as you set up your wallet, you'll see some of the kind of initial onboarding on-ramp piece of this. You'll be able to use your email and password or create an account if you don't have that. One thing I've included in this slide, because it's rolling out very soon, is the ability for you to bring in your self-custodied wallet as well. So those seed phrases, I promise, do not go to any kind of wallet, although they might in the future. Yeah, you're able to pull in that self-custodied wallet. So I like to say that it's good for beginner, intermediate, or more advanced Web3 and crypto users. It allows people at all levels. Now, for example, I have a Bitski wallet. It's the Bitski Vault, which is our custodied wallet. But then I also bring in my self-custody wallets via the seed phrases that you can pull out from other wallets. I like to toggle between these wallets, depending on what I'm minting, depending on what I'm doing. I also store my NFTs in different wallets. That's just because I like to have the convenience of them being accessible in these different types of wallets at different times. And then I think, Heather, I'm just going to send you a quick message, just some quick feedback that I got. 1 second. Okay, perfect. And so, these are some of the important things that you can do to easily access the wallet experience. One of the things that we think is really important is that the user experience should be simple and easy to understand in the Bitski wallet. So as you enter the Bitski wallet, you'll see a couple of different things. One is you'll see the ability to see all of your activity in your wallet. So if you are unsure that you did something or unsure of how you have transacted on a contract, you've minted an NFT, whatever it might be, you'll be able to easily see that activity. You'll get an alert about it. It shouldn't be this obfuscated thing or this hard to understand thing that doesn't make sense. You'll be able to easily see what you own inside of your wallet. And then more importantly, when you're transacting on actual contracts, you'll be able to quickly and easily see what you are doing on your contract. So specifically, if you think about how you're using Google Chrome, and it might say that you have visited a website that's malicious or questionable in some way, shape, or form, you're able to really easily see if this is a contract that's verified, if this is a collection that's verified, if this is something that you can trust. So the Bitski wallet allows you to do that in a really seamless and simple way. And that's actually kind of the nickel tour of all of it. The big things I wanted to call out with this, and I didn't want to go into a full onboarding session of all things Bitski wallet, is that you're able to easily transact on the blockchain. It gives you the opportunity to do all of the things that you hear about, whether that's buy, sell, sending crypto, buy, sell, send NFTs, access decentralized applications, which are things like OpenSea, for example, that you obviously see NFTs on and other things. And it also allows you to kind of see what are the things that you're doing with your crypto wallet in a really simple and easy to understand way. And one thing that's fun that I didn't include in this is that you're also able to watch wallets inside of your wallet, meaning that I could keep an eye on Heather's wallet because Heather seems to always get all of the latest and greatest news of things that are going on. I can keep an eye on Michelle's wallet, who you'll meet in a second, or whoever else's wallet that you may want to look at to see what they're minting, what they're engaging with, so that you're not missing out on that next big collection, that next big thing that folks may be purchasing or snagging. So those are kind of some of the general updates and general things to know about Bitski. And I want to end with this before we have a little fun. One is wallets can be an overwhelming experience to enter. They can be an overwhelming thing to even set up. I remember the first time I set up a wallet, it was like I had notepads everywhere. I was unsure if I'm doing this correctly. I was calling friends. I was actually doing a live Zoom with one friend who was showing me all of these things. It can be overwhelming. So I would recommend first, go to a wallet that you feel like is approachable and safe to start, and start playing with some of these core technologies, these core foundational technologies. There are so many free mints, free NFTs that you can get out there to start playing with, to start learning with. That's one. Two is, ask a friend, ask the wallets themselves, like feel free to DM the Bitski team if you're confused about something. One thing that I love about the Bitski team is that we're big on support. So if you ever have questions, we're always here to help, and we will DM you back right away on Twitter, on Discord, wherever you want to be, we'll be there. And then also try to have fun along the way. If you're not having fun with it, then ask that community, those friends, ask CoinQueens, frankly, and ask them why am I not having fun? Where's the fun parts? Because there should be some fun here. So that is what I'll leave you with. Now I'm going to say that the next 5 people to DM us on Twitter at Bitski with the phrase CoinQueens, you'll be able to pick one thing from the CoinQueens swag store, and we'll send that to you. So you get to pick one thing from the CoinQueens swag store. It's gonna be the first 5 people that DM Bitski with the words CoinQueens on Twitter, but you have to follow us on Twitter and DM us those words. I'll check this later today and we'll follow back up with you on Twitter. But yeah, be sure to follow Bitski, and we'll send you one item from the swag store. Just because, again, I'm a big fan of CoinQueens swag. So
that's amazing, Blake. That's so cool. Yeah, you guys got to do it on Twitter. That's so rad. Thank you. I love all my CoinQueen swag. I might just have some special glasses coming for my presenters today. I'll be sending out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Heather, for having us. And I'll stay on until the end here if there's any questions. But yeah, really appreciate the time of this group.
Yeah, thank you. I think that was perfect entree of why I think Bitski is such a good beginner solution. And I know you do have, like you said, it's intermediate and expert level as well. You kind of can grow with you as you continue in your Web3 journey, which I love that. But I think Amanda has a question, and we'll do a bunch of questions at the end if that's okay, Amanda. But she said, did it simulate transactions? So you can go into that real quick. So it's the only one you have right now. I have
Yeah,
some.
of course. Oh, no, I'm happy to do that. It does simulate transactions. So we work with a couple of different partners so that it is simulating the transaction. So it will flag for you some of those early warnings of, you're giving full approval to this contract. It's allowing them to do X, Y, and Z. That's a good question. And just for people that are unaware of what that means, like simulating transactions, specifically, it's kind of like playing out all of the motions of what you may be doing before you actually turn the key, if you will, like in the car. So it tells you, just so you know, like you're going to be giving away all of these things, sending this kind of money away, giving access for this person, this contract to take this particular NFT. It's kind of telling you all of these things so that it goes through all the motions without the risk and the actual risk of you doing it. So that was a really, really good question. And there's a couple of really good partners that do that out there, which is why we work with one of them.
Yeah, no, Amanda has built this really cool, basically like insurance policy for your NFTs. So she's definitely very, risk management focused. And so, no, I think it is great because if you don't have a wallet yet, and I know a couple of ladies who have recently joined CoinQueens are on here and like searching around, like I feel like just like a nice level of comfort. We're like, why don't you start with Bitski? I mean, move around, you can go where you want after, but I love it just gives me like a little sense of comfort. So thank you, Blake. That was amazing. And I have some questions too. I think it'll make sense once. Well, actually, maybe it won't. So I'm going to ask you now the encryption for the seed phrase. So like everyone who may not know, so when you sign up for typically the most common wallet that people use to sign up for is MetaMask, right? So this seed phrase, where does that encryption go? Like, where does it go? So if I don't have it and you guys have it encrypted, where?
Yeah, so that's where it gets into what I was making a reference to earlier, which are these hardware secured modules, which essentially is an actual hardware device that is basically securing your keys. We don't have any access to it. We don't know what your keys are specifically. Right. It's at a location that I don't know actually specifically because I think, they don't want to tell the marketing guy that. Essentially what it's doing is it's providing a safe place for those keys. And it allows you to not have to worry about the access of those specific keys in that situation. So it allows you to kind of have that convenience of the cold wallet that I think like some of us might have with a ledger, etc. Without having to worry about keeping track of all the seed phrases and other things that you would use to access a ledger cold wallet in that situation.
Okay, maybe we do a nerd out session for some of us. I know some of us probably want to go a little deeper on the nerdiness, but for now, I think this is great. Like this is such an easy way to, get people started to access all these tools. So Marquita said, yes, please. Absolutely. We will. We'll schedule a nerdy session. Okay, Patrick, are you prepared and ready? I think I made you a co-host, so you're up, dude.
Yeah, I think this is going to work. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's a good first step. Thanks, Heather, for organizing this. It's been a real pleasure to work with you over the past, 6 or 7 months as you've been growing CoinQueens and bringing different people into your agency. And we really appreciate the work that you're doing. Thanks for everyone for attending today. Really grateful for the next 15 minutes of your time. What I'm going to attempt to do is speak English for the next 15 minutes. So if I ever go off track and I start speaking any kind of technical mumbo jumbo or crypto speak that you don't understand, please don't hesitate to call me out in the chat because that's not my intention here. English is my native language. I'm certain it is for you as well. Or if it's not your native language, you're on this call. So we'll get started. And to start with that, Unlock creates memberships. Those memberships are NFTs. Those NFTs, and this is where I'll get technical for a bit, are ERC 721s. And what ERC 721 means is there's 2 standards of NFTs. There's ERC 721s and there's ERC 1155s. You don't need to know that to know about NFTs. What Unlock has done is taken the standard of NFTs, injected it with steroids, and given it superpowers. So most of the NFTs that you see out in the wild that aren't created on Unlock offer lifetime or perpetual access. So NFTs that are being minted with the expectation of people on the other side that you're going to get access forever. Forever is a really long time. And the expectation is set that if you do that, then people are going to get forever access. And what we see happening in the space is all the money is collected up front, and then eventually the treasury of these projects go down to zero. Because in the history of mankind, there's never been a sustainable business model built where all of the money is collected up front and then there's no recurrence. So what Unlock has done is given NFTs the ability to expire. So within the contracts that Unlock that are available on Unlock, they're creating tokens with expiration. Because if tokens can expire, it means that you can set up predictable and recurring revenue, and you can actually create business models that are on blockchains. And some of those business models are tickets. So ticketing is a pretty common use case for NFTs. You can build tickets on Unlock Protocol, which I'll kind of show you here in a bit, that you can use for your event. It's essentially a QR code that you can scan with a mobile phone, or you can print out a list of people that are going to be attending an event. This could be an event with tens of thousands of people, or it could be a dinner party with 3 if you wanted to kind of just experiment with these. Also, when you have tokens that expire, you can do subscriptions. So especially automatic recurring subscriptions. So think about a world in which if your Netflix subscription was an NFT, and if your Netflix subscription was an NFT, that means that that NFT would live within the Netflix contract. And Netflix could then partner with Delta or the New York Times or Equinox. And if they had wallet-aware experiences that were enabled with these tokens, all that Netflix would need to do is share that contract address with another partner. They would put the content behind a paywall, and then they could enable that type of access. This creates a multiplayer experience. In most cases, when we interact with a business, it's very single player. You buy something, you get something. You buy something, you get something. Maybe you buy a lot of something and then you'll get something free in return. The real kind of power behind NFTs is really the ability to create these ecosystems or kind of a universe that's bigger than a single entity. And this holds true whether you're a small local business, whether you're a Shopify merchant, or you're at the scale of Netflix. I've already mentioned kind of time-based memberships. That's really our jam. Other use cases for this would be certifications. Think about your driver's license. I live in New York. The state of New York could have a contract that all driver's licenses lived on, and there'd be an expiration date there. And then if somebody wanted to verify that this was your driver's license, all they would need is that contract address and your token on that contract address to verify that, yep, Patrick Workman has a valid token that lives on the New York State contract. And this is really the future that I see that's going to be created. I don't know when, but it will happen at some time. And then obviously digital collectibles. Majority of digital collectibles today are purely that. They're kind of art. You can look at it, you can show people on your phone. They're not very much fun, but that's what you can do. Where we're seeing the progression of digital collectibles is really getting more into access so people can do more with these things through wallet-aware experiences. And I'll go into kind of what that looks like. So I'm not going to be able to go through a full version of this, but we've been hosting these sessions called the Membership Journey or Membership 101. And over the course of an hour webinar, which we've been hosting monthly, we take attendees through kind of the evolution of what membership really means, especially on blockchains. And I'm going to touch on that here for a moment before I go into a live demo where we'll actually create a contract for this event. And then I'll send you a link where you can all claim your NFT for attending. So membership journey, kind of stage 1 to stage 5, kind of is an attempt to walk people through where we are today in the evolution of blockchains and where kind of the utopian vision would be on the other side. Our intention for this is for you to really think about where you are today. And this doesn't mean where you are within Web3, it's just where is your business and what are you attempting to do? And where could membership complement an existing strategy or be kind of additive to something that's revenue generating that doesn't exist today? And then from a benchmarking perspective, what the journey allows is for you to see kind of where you are on this spectrum and where you'd like to start and why you're looking to do that, as well as provide guidance to what the next steps are. I'm going to briefly touch on each one of these stages. So stage one would be pretty much where everyone is, like doing nothing on blockchains, or maybe not even having a membership in general. So this would be, maybe you have a Facebook page, maybe you have a website where you're using a single sign-on with a Google or a Facebook. You have an email database of a lot of people. You're sending out a newsletter, but that's really it. Maybe you're crypto curious, and obviously, if you're on this call, you're either crypto curious or crypto native, because otherwise, why would you be here? But you don't really know where this is going to go next. And that next phase is where we've seen a majority of projects to date, which is they're really experiments. It's whether it be a brand activation or kind of a project that's art-based. Maybe it is a kind of a dinner that somebody's hosting and they want to use NFTs for ticketing. Maybe it's even a certification program that somebody's doing for a class that they're teaching. What we've seen in this space are really these ideas of, let's stretch a little and see what's possible. Let's play with the tools. Let's introduce concepts like a wallet. And let's just see what we can do with these. Maybe you can use these contract addresses to give members access to a Discord or a Telegram. Maybe you're using a community platform like Geneva. Maybe you have a Shopify site and you want to enable special discounts for people that hold one of your tokens. It really is just in the beginning stages of where this could potentially go. Where we see 2023 going is really big brands moving from this concept of experiment to really start thinking about a value ramp, really getting away from the lifetime or perpetual access tokens and focusing on tokens that expire. And the expiration, well, actually, when you put time constraints within anything, it inspires creativity. So if you're planning forever, it's really hard to plan for that next event. If you're planning for 2023 and you want some recurrence to happen at the end because you want people to renew, whether that be free or paid, you really have to think in these kind of boundaries of what am I going to deliver now in order to compel people to do something in the future. Many of these initial projects are free, so there's very few paid components involved in a lot of these value ramps. A majority of them are coming from brands that are kind of really stretching to see, okay, over the next 3 months, what can we really deliver? This is also if you're looking to do something from a campaign perspective, like an advertising campaign, a free trial. How can you kind of explore and do something that isn't a huge lift and doesn't require a large organization, but a way for you to really dip your toes in Web3 in a way that's creating more value than just a digital collectible. Then there's this idea of kind of a value flywheel, and we don't see many projects here. There are some DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. These are groups that have all organized on the internet that are kind of getting in this direction, where we at Unlock are governed by the Unlock DAO. And what that means is we have a group of individuals within our community that are acting on our behalf. So they're creating subgroups in order to educate others. They're submitting proposals based upon what they want to accomplish, as well as the future direction of the protocol. And based upon a governance token that we have, they each have a voice within our ecosystem. And we are seeing a lot of DAOs kind of move in this direction, where now there are kind of rituals being established. For us, every Wednesday, we have a community call from 1 to 2, and we bring everyone together and talk about what's happening. As I mentioned before, people are kind of branching out and kind of creating things on their own, which is really exciting to see because it's really happening in an organic manner. And people are out there kind of preaching our gospel on our behalf versus us having to go out and preach about Unlock. And then there's this kind of utopian vision of Web3 where everything's decentralized and things just kind of happen. This magical universe where people are all playing together and organizing, and it's kind of this self-sustaining community that everything can grow. I do believe at some point in the future, we'll see ecosystems that will probably act as better versions of government that will fit within this mold. But right now, this is really space age stuff. A majority of, as I mentioned before, majority of activations in the space are somewhere between stage 1, 2, or 3 within the membership journey. So again, this is kind of the membership journey. If you are interested in learning more about this, you can follow us at Unlock Protocol. We're announcing these every month. You can also follow Heather. She graciously retweets every time we have one of these membership workshops, which we really appreciate. And just so I don't forget, you can always find me at Patrick Workman on all of the things. I thought it would be kind of fun to actually like deploy a contract. We'll create a contract, deploy a contract, and then give everyone an NFT for attending this event. So in the next 5 minutes, that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'll dive into it. So if you go to unlock-protocol.com, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see Launch App. If you click Launch App, it's going to open an app that allows you to create a oh, wait, sorry here. I don't have one of my things here. Sorry, 1 second. It's going to allow an app that will help you to create a membership contract. Now, I'm going to show you how I go through this. So this is an app that's available. Unlock Protocol is completely free to use. So there's no charge for any of this. So you can create a contract, deploy a contract, and then you can use that contract to sell your memberships, your tickets, your certifications with crypto. Or if you have a Stripe account, you can attach that as well. So for this event, and I did cheat a little bit, so forgive me, because I didn't know how long it would take for a blockchain transaction to go through. I'm going to say that this is just like an event token that we're doing. I'm going to put, there's 50 of them available. I would make it free. You can put this on any network. If you're doing this as a test, I would highly recommend that you deploy on Polygon. It's just a really inexpensive network to deploy on. It's so inexpensive that I deployed this contract and it cost me, I think, 3 US cents. So it's very easy to do. And what this tool is, that again, is free to use, it's really like a membership operating system. With this, you can do things like airdrop, which is send memberships to people. So you can upload a CSV file if you have wallet addresses. At the end of this week, and this is some alpha, we're launching a product where you could take a list of email addresses and you could send each of those email addresses an NFT. A wallet would be, an address would be created behind the scenes that an NFT would live in. And then they could actually transfer that to their own wallet if they wanted to, but they wouldn't need to. So we're actually breaking down some of those barriers in order to make it easier for people to onboard. Through here, you can also do some cool things. You can go through and edit each one of your NFTs. So you can change the name, you can change the event details, you can choose, you can include external URLs. In this case, it's an online event, but when you go through and claim the ticket, you'll get a QR code. So it would look something like this that people could then use. If you wanted to, you could scan this with your phone right now, and you would see that it would just like be a checkout experience. But you're going to be receiving one of these in a second too. So you can also scan your code and get it in your email. You can also do some cool stuff. In terms of the image of your NFT, you can make that a YouTube video. If one day after you claim your NFT, if you go back and take a look at it, I will include an Easter egg here. You may be rickrolled in terms of a YouTube video. So you can put videos in NFTs, you can put any kind of animation, and then you can put any kind of metadata. You can put like what this represents. We're seeing some brands now experiment with being able to pull in signals of purchase behavior. And that would actually be a part of the NFT. And the advantage of doing that is when developers are developing wallet-aware experiences that are enabled with tokens, they can then see what's within each one of those NFTs and they can build better products. So think about like the greatest recommendation engine ever built in the history of mankind. Because it could pull signals from all of your Amazon and Facebook and Google and Twitter and Pinterest and Shopify and Spotify. If all of those were membership tokens and all of your information was contained within your token, you could do some pretty cool stuff. And that's really the future of the web, at least the future that I'm betting on. You can also go through here and update the settings of your contract. So just like you would like a Facebook page, you can change the name of your contract. You can change at any point in time, like, are these transferable or non-transferable? How long are they going to last? How many of these memberships can each person have? You can also set a cancellation policy. You can say like allowing trials. You can allow people to get refunds. You can If you have a Stripe account, you can accept Stripe payments. So people actually can pay with a credit card. So you're actually reducing that barrier as well. If you want this to be a subscription, you can enable automatic renewals. So every 30 days, just like your Netflix subscription, either a credit card or a wallet would be charged. You also have the concept of roles, where just like if you have a Facebook page, you can have multiple managers of that account. You can add multiple wallet addresses here. So in this case, I added Heather as the manager of this one. And then you can do things like offer a referral fee in order to kind of stoke utilization of your contract. So we've tried to make this as easy as possible for people to use. I know easy is a pretty overused word, but that's really our goal here. And I did say that we're going to have a token. So I'm going to drop this in the chat. And this is an actual experience. One second here. How do I get to that chat? Oh, there it is. I'm going to drop a link in there. I use Bitly to do a custom link, but you could use anything. And for those of you that want to walk through it first, I'll show you how to do that. So the checkout experience that I just sent you, I built using the Unlock Checkout Builder. So as you see here on the screen, create checkout URL will send you to this experience. Through this experience, you can change the image, you can change where people are going to go after they purchase. You can also go through and collect information from people as well. So you can require them to include their email, which I highly recommend. One of the biggest misses in Web3 is we allow people to mint NFTs or claim NFTs, and we have no way to communicate with them after the fact. You can't send a message to a wallet that has a token in it. So always get email addresses whenever possible. Through here, you could also add things like somebody's asking for somebody's name, their favorite color, their shoe size, whatever you can dream. But let me just walk through what this experience looks like. So if you have a crypto wallet, you can attach your crypto wallet. If you don't have a crypto wallet, that's okay as well. An unlock account will be created on your behalf. The way that works is think about it as just signing up for like a Google account. You're signing up with a username and password, and then you would use that username and password in order to access anything that would be gated behind an unlock account. In this case, I do have a crypto wallet, so I'm going to attach my wallet. And through this purchase flow, I will click next. I will put in my email address. If you do need to contact me, I'm patrick@unlock-protocol.com. Click next. And then in this case, I do have Matic. So Matic is the native token within the Polygon network. The way that transactions work in a decentralized way is tokens are used in order to process transactions. So the reason that's done is so that there's a network cost, and there has to be something in order to keep the network working. So in this case, on Polygon, it's Matic. In the event that you didn't have any Matic, or you're using a non-crypto wallet, Unlock covers the fees for this. So if you go through and do this and you don't have any Matic, it will say claim this for free because this is a free one, and you'll be able to do that. Then I'm going to click through here. It says claim, so I'm going to claim this token, and that's not what I wanted to see. That's the last thing that I wanted to see on this. So let me go here. Let me see. 1 second. This is the disadvantage of doing a live demo like this. There we go. This is pulling up. Hooray, this is gonna work. So here is, you can't see it, but a MetaMask transaction popped up, and I'm now actually purchasing this NFT. And eventually it's processing through the Polygon network. And after that hourglass keeps spinning and I stop talking, you're going to see that the NFT will be minted. So I think there's something slow going on with the Polygon chain right now, because it typically takes seconds to do this. And right now I see my transaction is still pending. Once that transaction does take place though, you'll see it here in the dashboard. So it will show that, oh, there we go. Oh, look at you. Here's everyone that's actually collected one of these already. So we have Heather, we have Andrea, we got M. Millet, we have an email address that shall remain nameless. We have native tourists here as well. So within this dashboard, you can do things like you could send them a QR code if you're having an event. If this was a paid membership, you could refund them. If you're going to an event, you could mark them as checked in. You could also download a CSV file in order to kind of use this for an event. So it's really kind of a full membership dashboard in order to enable you to do some cool things. Cool, and that's what I have. If you haven't had a chance to go through and claim your NFT, I'll leave that up for 24 hours. And if you do go to OpenSea and connect your wallet and take a look, there will be a secret surprise after you refresh your metadata 2 hours after this event. Thanks for your time. I'm really grateful.
That was amazing. And I'm so excited for the 2 hours post event. I'm going to set my alarm. I literally can't wait to see what you came up with. But I mean, isn't that mind blowing, everyone? Like literally it's seconds and easy. I feel like when people enter Web3, because I get a lot of newbies, Patrick, I know you're like, you know, hanging out with the super smart devs and stuff, but I get a lot of new, and the NFTs seem like, oh my gosh, we could never create them. I'm like, yes, you could. It's the easiest dashboard to use. You could NFT whatever you want, make a smart contract around whatever you want. So I love it. That was amazing. And thank you for giving us all a free little gift. Love it. Andrea had one question. It's the only one that popped up. And then we can ask extras if there's any at the end. But Andrea said, Patrick, do you have a use case for multiplayer subscriptions? Are companies doing this? Would love to see how it works or a link to the program.
Yeah, so that's a great question. And I actually borrowed the language from Adam Brontman. Adam Brontman was the ex-chief digital officer for Starbucks. He recently started an agency, Forum 3, this leading Starbucks Odyssey program, that Starbucks attempt to really take their loyalty program from Web 2 to Web 3. And the way that he describes it is single player, like he's the one who set up the Starbucks loyalty program back in the day. And he's like, the Starbucks loyalty program is pretty lame. You buy coffee, you get points. I buy coffee, I get points. I have enough points, I get coffee. But like that's really all that it does. What he's looking to create is this multiplayer experience where Starbucks is larger than itself. So although this idea is still space age, and I don't have any examples to share, what will occur over the next 6 months will be Starbucks will form partnerships, either directly or indirectly, with other companies. And you'll be able to use your Starbucks membership that will be an NFT, and you'll be able to plug into wallet-aware experiences from all of these other partners. And when I say wallet-aware, what that means is just like you connect to a website with a single sign-on, like sign on with Google, you would connect your wallet. And in the future, there's going to be these connect wallet options across the web. You're going to connect your wallet in the same way that you would connect with Google. You're going to have a bunch of tokens in this backpack. And as you show up at the door, an experience is going to be created. So although I don't have an example now, I believe Starbucks will be the first one to do that. I'm also seeing some interesting projects where networks are being created. So think categories like pet food or kind of fine food, fashion, beauty. And there's a network of people within like Shopify merchants. So then they can band together and there could be a membership for all of those with individual discounts for each store. We're starting to see some projects get off the ground that are offering that type of functionality. Shopify, here's more alpha, on February 6th is going to announce their kind of latest products. Part of that is all Shopify merchant sites will be wallet aware. So any Shopify merchant is going to be able to allow their users to connect a wallet. And if that wallet has a token in it, they're going to be able to serve up an experiment. So this is in addition to Reddit being wallet aware, Twitter, Meta, all of these, this is all happening. And then once the wallet awareness occurs, it's what's on the other side of that. And then how are we going to create tokens? And that's what we do at Unlock. We create tokens. And we create tokens for consumer applications. We don't create tokens that go up in value. So speculation isn't the product's the product.
No, I love that point. Exactly. That's the right point. And I think Starbucks and Target are like the most likely, they already have a great partnership, right? So wouldn't that make sense? Or if I accumulated 1,000 Starbucks points, I could use those for $10 off at Target today, right? Or I don't know. I think that's a beautiful collaboration option. So great question, Andrea. And with that, now that you guys have your minds blown on how easy it is to create in an NFT. I'm going to hand it over to Michelle, who has been creating NFTs that are amazing. These do not disturb signs, as she's looking to build a brand around prioritizing rest and relaxation. She is also a former co-founder CMO of Off Limits Cereal. You guys may be seeing those in Target very soon. I meant to go out, Michelle, and look for it, and then I did not have time before I had to get in car line, but I'm going to Target to look for Off Limits Cereal. I'm so stoked. So I can't wait for you to talk about what you've been building, and just now, because I think the last thing I'll say before you start is everyone that I meet that's like, okay, I smell opportunity in Web3. Like I am just, it's like first mover opportunity. I smell it, but I don't know how to get started. The main two things you need is you need a wallet to connect to it, and you need to be able to create the token gating or the, tie your product to some sort of digital asset. And those two companies right there give you all the tools you need for free, and off you go. So, and now Michelle can tell you what she's been doing and her success. So go, girl.
Thanks so much, Heather. Let me know if everyone can hear me. Just give me like a thumbs up. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just going to preface this by saying that I'm a bit jet lagged. I'm in between flights right now, so it's been quite a day, but I'm really excited to be here. And that was an incredible intro. Heather has been, I guess, like our #1 cheerleader. So it's been really, really amazing. So yeah, I'm so honored to be here right now. So I want to share my screen, but I'm having a little bit, oh no, I found it. Never mind. Take that back. So I'm just going to walk you through as quickly as possible a little like story. What I want to do today is kind of just like take what everybody said already and just kind of make it as relatable as possible, and using myself as an example. So Heather already made a really awesome intro to myself, but I consider myself a creative entrepreneur and a bit of a futurist. I spent most of my career developing partnerships. So I started in the fashion industry working under fashion houses like Liberty of London and Swarovski. And then I found my love of entrepreneurship and startups, working for the Council of Fashion Designers of America, the CFDA. And then I eventually wanted to just like do my own thing. So I'm just like going through a really, really fast-paced version of my resume right now. But yes, I ended up launching a cereal company. It's actually a next generation cereal company called Off Limits. And that's where I actually learned about the wild world of Web3. We were looking for, as a CMO, I was looking for really unique, innovative ways to literally just like have a campaign that was a throwback to the nostalgia of cereal toys. So Off Limits brand is very quirky. The tone of voice is kind of out of control. The target audience is Gen Z. So it is very much in line with Gen Z's lifestyle. So when I was looking for something really unique and creative to do for our new product campaign, somebody just said like, oh, you should just create an NFT. Now, this is exactly a year and like 3 months ago that we ended up moving forward with creating an NFT as a marketing campaign. And it was a gift with purchase for our mini version of our cereal boxes that we created. And I promise you, I thought NFTs were a scam. So I thought this was just like a gimmick. I really was not intending for NFTs to actually be a huge part of the business. But once we actually dropped the NFT at Art Basel of last year, we had a line around the block. And I promise you, it was not for the cereal. It was very much for the NFT. So that's when like my brain exploded and I realized, okay, I should probably be taking this a little bit more seriously. And that, is kind of like the end of it. That's how I personally started learning about all things Web3. Now, what many of the things that we've talked about today have been just like the barriers of entry to Web3. And I'm just going to reiterate that with my own, again, personal use case as an example. As I was personally trying to like dive into the crazy world that is Web3, I realized that we were just glorifying grind and hustle culture. I DIY'd my own onboarding experience is what I like to call it. So what I did was actually, and again, I thought NFTs were a scam, right? So I wanted to arm myself with the like security tools to be able to read and audit smart contracts, because that's what I thought with the limited knowledge and resources available back then. I thought that was the only way to not get scammed. So I took a Solidity class. It was like so intense. It was really hard. I was trying to learn how to code. Like, you know, the TLDRs, you don't have to do that. There are so many other ways to participate in Web3, but that's what I thought I had to do. So I did it. And I ended up getting really burnt out. I was trying to juggle managing a company, learning how to code, doing all the things. And yeah, I realized through talking to many other people that, you know, the main problem is really just this kind of like grind culture that exists within the world of Web3, specifically NFT projects. So I started just realizing that, you know, I needed to take a break, honor the time that I needed for myself to reset. And then I dove down another rabbit hole. And that was really where I found the love and passion that I have today through like-minded builders. So I started asking other builders, other marketers, like how did they learn what to do with Web3, or like, you know, what the future capabilities are with blockchain technology. And first I found out that everybody was equally burnt out. So that made me feel better. I was not alone. And then I also came to find out that it really was just like the culture, like, you know, just like the wild, wild west. It reminds me so much of like the cannabis industry as well, where everybody is just like trying to jump the gun. And that's where, you know, unfortunately, you know, some security issues happen. So I wanted to move on a little bit quicker to just talk about why I was so passionate to build. The way that I learn is that I just do. And that's what I did. So after I found out that, you know, 8 out of 10 people are suffering from burnout and that I wasn't alone, I really wanted to just start building. And as I was building, I was focused on community first. And through community, I realized that, you know, Web3 is so much more than just like an NFT as a gimmick. Web3, what I am now super passionate about is bringing decentralization into, you know, our lives, bringing a new way of sharing and collecting data, and also the opportunity to take data and make it interoperable. So some of those are like really fancy words that I won't get really into, but feel free to ask questions if you do have any against all these 3 terms. But these are the 3 reasons why I personally am building on Web3. And I think the future of Web3 is here to stay. Not to get too woo-woo, but I truly believe that with this technology, it's giving us the opportunity to build the future that we want to be a part of. So that's exactly why I took what I learned about, you know, people suffering from burnout, and myself included, and started building Siesta. So Siesta is very much a passion project that now is actually being built as a brand, a lifestyle brand meant to inspire moments of rest and relaxation. So what we're doing is, well, I should backtrack. What I ended up doing was just like literally getting on the phone, asking people, you know, what they do to live a well-balanced life while they're juggling, you know, work, learning a new technology, learning new skills. And collectively, I found that people just really wanted community, a place to like talk and a place to do this together. So that's exactly what we're building. We're building a community first initiative called Siesta. So what I did immediately, and again, this is just from my prior experience of building brands and raising money. I knew that I did not want to raise money with, you know, VCs or like the traditional way. A lot of my burnout came from that as well, but that's a topic for another day. So I used NFTs as a way to just like raise, you know, my like pre-seed round. And I used an NFT as what I'm calling a community market fit test. I really just wanted to see like, is this something that people are really interested in, through just like a nice little like call to action of having your PFP change whenever you're actively on vacation, going out of office, or just taking a social media break. So I started building Siesta, and while I was recovering from my own personal burnout, I was doing all of this in the Dominican Republic, where my family is from. So a lot of the reason why I named the brand Siesta is to pay an homage to the lifestyle that already exists in Latin America and in places like small Caribbean islands where they actually do honor their break. So that's pretty much what I have going on with Siesta. I was doing a community market fit test and the community spoke. I ended up getting a ton of people, Heather included, and I see a couple of our other NFT holders in the audience. But yeah, I was overwhelmed by the amount of interest that this had, and this really spoke to people. So I knew that, you know, I was in the right direction. I ended up getting on like one-on-one calls with people who were already in the wellness space and gave them an NFT completely for free. So I ended up airdropping the NFT to them. And the NFT, like Heather mentioned, which I could get into more detail, but I wanted to make this more about like a relatable story as to what you can do for your own community or for your own idea of how you can build. But our NFT collection is called Do Not Disturb. And it's a collection of 1900 Do Not Disturb signs meant for the holder to use as temporary profile pictures when you're actively on vacation. So what you see here are people who are actually like doing that. People are putting up their PFPs, changing their PFPs, or just like making a mental note like, hey, I'm out going on vacation, out of office, somebody's, you know, going on their honeymoon, what have you. It was really fun to watch, and we're actually still actively minting. But I wanted to mention that I started first with wellness practitioners and giving them a completely free NFT as like a way to just like acknowledge that these people are already living a lifestyle of Siesta. And then I opened it up for a public mint at 0.02 Ethereum, which today is somewhere like $30 during Hispanic Heritage Month. Again, as like a way to really just promote the lifestyle that we're trying to build. So again, this use case was really just to raise pre-seed funds. First, when I gave it away for free, it was to like interact with the community and meet more established people. Second, I used it as a way to gain pre-seed revenue. And now that we have this like amazing community, we are building an ecosystem. And again, it's all driven by community. So our community market fit test, I would say, was super successful, but now we moved on to the next phase. A lot of times you hear people asking like, what is the utility of your NFT? Which kind of is annoying, but I always say that you need a roadmap to let your community know where you're going. So what our roadmap is, again, just so we can all align and collectively know what our end goal is, what we're striving for, is to build a community, have in real life spaces, host events, and eventually launch products. And that's actively what we're doing. Our community is currently on Geneva, the same platform that CoinQueens is on. So everybody's more than welcome. It's completely free to enter. What we do within the community, tying it back to the NFT use case, is when you enter the Siesta community, I ask you a bunch of questions all about how you like to rest and just make sure that you fit the vibe. I call it the vibe check before you enter. And I like basically deny more people than I approve. It's not that I take it that seriously, but I think when you're building community, that is something really important. You want to make sure that everybody's there for the same reason. And then I ended up creating token gated channels. So any one of you who doesn't have an NFT today, a Do Not Disturb sign, you are able to come into the Geneva community, no problem. But if you want to dive a little bit deeper, we have these token gated channels that are all about inspiration. So that's one, like the next step of what I started building and creating, to kind of use that as a way to, again, create even more of a deeper niche community within my community. And then the in real life spaces is actually an initiative that I started on before I even launched my community, because I was so bullish on the need for people to go on retreats. But as I mentioned, I spent some time in the Dominican Republic, where my family's from, to recover from my own personal burnout. And when I found that, you know, just having a few days of literally taking a break, I was so creatively inspired. It was the most creative that I've ever been. I actually created most of our roadmap during that time. So that's what I like to promote. I just promote that people just need to continue to take breaks and relax and really prioritize their rest and relaxation to live a well-balanced life. So I ended up buying a casita in Dominican Republic, which is now our retreat home. So we're hosting actively hosting retreats for some of our members. And then we also have digital events that happen in our home on Geneva. Every Friday, we have what I call a digital siesta, where we have anybody in the wellness space come and just give their tips, tricks, hacks, or advice on how to prevent or avoid burnout. And then eventually we're going to have products. We don't have any products today, but I could mention that, and I'll drop this on the chat, but our website is token gated as well. So we ended up building a website on Shopify. Again, mainly for what Patrick said, Shopify seems to be the most wallet friendly platform, or at least they've been always future thinking about Web3 capabilities ever since I started this journey last year. So I ended up building my website on Shopify and have been playing around with really fun campaigns. So what I do is that I end up dropping product bundles depending on the campaign. And the only people who have access to the product are anyone with NFT. So the first thing I dropped was something that I just like cheekily called Michelle's favorite things. I was in the middle of like a move and I had like so much beauty product that I didn't want to get rid of. So I ended up just putting it on my Shopify page and having our NFT holders redeem them. And that experience was so fun. It invigorated me to continue to do more. So as of today, we've done things like create a physical do not disturb sign that, you know, can go along with your digital one. So you can use it on your actual physical door should you have neighbors or roommates, for example, that you want to leave you alone. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to just like briefly mention, is just like specific use cases that I've used myself as somebody with absolutely no development experience. I just look for these no code tools. Something like an unlock protocol has been incredibly helpful for somebody like me who's literally just trying to test and play and have, you know, the experience of building. And now I've armed myself with such an amazing community that our roadmap is, you know, super, I would say, super bullish on innovation. And I'll leave you with just a few of these teasers, but what I learned through a lot of the community conversations was that there aren't very many solutions out there for burnout. So what I want to do is develop a timekeeping app that will help you manage your schedule and balance out your schedule based off of how you feel, and then also based off of what we're calling natural cycles. So like lunar cycles, menstrual cycles, all of these things, astrological cycles affect us on a day-to-day, but we actually don't have insight on that. So what the app that we're developing, which right as of today, it's called the Natural Calendar. It's a timekeeping app that is going to teach you about yourself and your schedule. And the example I like to give is, you know, we all probably strive to be morning people, but maybe that actually isn't good for us. So what the Natural Calendar will do is actually track how you feel, teach you, you know, give you insights about your day, and then start prompting you and giving you suggestions as to how you should stack your schedules. So maybe, you know, you've been striving all your life to be a morning person like I have, but in fact, what you're going to learn is that you should probably not take calls earlier than 10 a.m. because you might not, you know, you might be suffering from like blood sugar levels or, you know, whatever. But the data component is what excites me a lot about blockchain technologies, because you'll be able to own that data. Like no longer are you like giving it away to people, like that data is yours. So that's one, you know, teaser that I can leave you all with. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. But that's everything that I'm building over here. And yeah.
It was amazing. I'm so excited about the Dominican Republican house. I am manifesting I will be there. Reset, you're not in the Dominican Republic, are you? No. Are you back in New England? No. Oh, but before.
I'm in Curacao right now.
Curacao.
So I'm further south, further all the way down by like Venezuela and the Caribbean.
Okay. Okay. You're so far. And I have my in real life on Siesta thing. One says do not disturb, and one says, I got this in Art Basel. I do keep it on my door. I put it on my door so that my kids stay out. But that's amazing, Michelle. It really helps, I feel like, for people who are thinking about building a business, not in Web3, just building a business in general is hard, right? It doesn't matter if you're trying to do it in Web3. And I like the idea of how you're using your community to build out from. And I think, and we all think, that's why most of us are here, is that will probably be the future of the internet, is these communities. And so I think this helps people put it into perspective, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and kind of how you've come. And I know you're going to succeed, and I can't wait. I'm so excited about that. I talk to people about the natural calendar all the time, and I only get positive feedback about, the setting of your days, because I think while everyone is anti-hustle culture and everyone's like, we have to take a break, we don't need to grind 24/7, there's still, nobody's given themselves permission, I don't feel like, yet, to take the foot off the gas. Everyone is collectively saying it, but they're like, but nobody's given me the green light or the permission to do that. So I feel like having an app or something that is holding you accountable, that thousands of other people are logged into, I love it. I think it's a great way for people to start proactively feeling like it's okay to do that. So thank you for building what we all need.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to leave off, but again, I don't have dev experience. So what I really want you to take away from any bit of information that I've shared is that you can do it too. The way that I even started thinking about developing a decentralized application is through a hackathon that I joined. So if anybody has any kind of interest in, learning, but are too nervous or scared to kind of do it on your own, I highly recommend hackathons. And hackathons are not just for devs. Like, I joined a bunch of them. You need, thought leaders and ideators and marketers and partnership people. Like, you need them all. Your skill set, even if you feel like you don't have a strong skill set for what is being built, you'll learn so much from the people or team or whoever you end up building with. So yeah, if I could leave you with anything, I would say go join a crew of people who are like-minded to help you with this process, and just do it.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. I think jumping right in, and now is the time, because now's the time to make the mistakes. Nobody's doing anything, fabulously yet. Like, we were just talking about Starbucks, like at that level, they're still not, rolled out. They're not nailing anything yet. So, I think that now is the time to take your ideas, play with all these free tools. It's amazing, use this community of people who are generally interested in trying to build something successful as well. And let's do it. Let's, build the next great thing. So, Blake just joined. Oh, Blake, you just joined? How was he not in there yet? That's amazing.
I was not. I'm just like a big fan, longtime listener, first time caller. So that's the
Yeah, you're going to have to force yourself to take a break now. There's some beautiful pictures. Some of the people in there that post some of the relaxation things they're doing, I'm like, I don't have those skills. I think I sent a picture of my black bean burger yesterday. I was doing my best to be siesta.
You do a fantastic job.
I puzzle. I do, I take my breaks. But okay, cool. So yay. Well, this was amazing. If anyone doesn't have any other questions, then we can wrap it up. Michelle, you're a gem for being here in between flights. I know you're probably so exhausted. So maybe you can hit a quick nap. But I posted in the chat the link to join Siesta, and then I will send out an email to everyone who attended with the link to this. I'll post this on YouTube so anyone can rewatch it, or if you want to share with anyone, and I'll send links for, joining CoinQueens as well. And hopefully, I think most of you are in there, but if not, would love to see you in there. And we have a lot more events coming up. We actually have one coming up on demystifying the VC process. So we can even ask grilling questions about, why does it have to be so brutal to take money from you? And we have more in detailed one I'm going to do. Patrick is so brilliant from Unlock on creating everything, but I know it's fast and a little overwhelming. So I'm going to be doing one on, I don't know, it's in the community. We'll walk through slowly how to create an NFT. You can bring anything that you want to create, and we'll do it Zoom wise. It'll be super simple, and then you'll put your first thing on the blockchain. So it'll be fun. Maybe we can put it all in a collection on OpenSea together and then that would be fun. So, oh, and Patrick did just post a report. I started reading it before this event today. It was good. I'll post it in the Hive too. It's, yeah, I'm excited to finish reading it. I mean, this is the future, and I'm so excited to see all the ladies in here learning. So this is our time. So appreciate everyone. Patrick, Blake, Michelle, thank you so much. This was super informative, a wealth of knowledge for everyone to kick off their Web3 career. So appreciate you guys, and I will see you all around Twitter. And like I said, look for the email from me. Everything will be recapped in there for you guys. So thank you all. Peace and love, and
Thanks, everyone.
see you later.
Have a great day.